What is going on, everybody? We are back at this shindig again. What's up? It's been a while since I've personally been behind the camera of something. You know, I'm usually on the other side of things, but thought I'd pick this old dinosaur up and give it a shot again and try to make something a little productive here. So we've got a pretty, I don't know, I'm gonna try and make this a couple parts, so I think it's gonna be a pretty exciting video. It's something I'm definitely gonna learn and hopefully teach the people watching this how to do something too. But we got the CBR out. There was a stink bug that just almost attacked me. Holy crap. We're gonna do a Toce performance exhaust on the CBR. Full system exhaust. It's something I've never done. You know, this bike came as is how it is. So, I mean, the only thing I put on there were stickers and some little adjustments. But, you know, we got Leo Vince exhaust on there. I believe, I want to say it's just a slip-on. You know, I haven't really looked at it just yet, other than, you know, did some oil changes on the bike and that was it. But I don't think it's a full system. I don't think it's a full system on here at all by any means, but it very well might be. So I'll find out once I take it all off. But you know, it's got the Leo Vince SBK system on it right now, which it sounds incredible. It sounds awesome on it. But I was just looking at some things I could do to give the bike a little more juice, a little more power. So after riding the Harley for so long now, hopping back on the 600, it's not laughable, but you know, it's not. It's a little crazy how much little torque the 600s have compared to like the Harley Street Bob. It's pretty insane. I gotta take the ECU out of the bike, so this is gonna be the process of how to get to the ECU on it and how to get the ECU out. But yeah, we're gonna send the ECU in, see what they can do with it, and hopefully get it back. But yeah, let's just dive into it, see where this goes. Hopefully I can figure it out. I'm learning myself about these street machines still. There's a lot to them. I'm coming to find out. As far as I know, the ECU is underneath the tank cover here, so it's fairly simple to get to. Not really much to it. You know, these bikes are nice because it's just like a couple screws and you get them out and they'll pop right off. So after that, we should be home free. We'll mail it in to Toce, have them play with it, and then, you know, I think we're on a 2 to 3 week build cycle for the exhaust, so it's going to be a little while before we get the full system back in. But yeah, let's get into it. Let's get her done. I'll do a little sound test of the bike first to give a little before and after, because I've never heard a Toce system in person. So by the reviews of it and by what people are saying and all the videos, they say it's like incredible sounding. So yeah, let's give a little startup of the bike, let it get warmed up, and do a little sound test, and we'll dive into it and hopefully get this ECU ripped out pretty fairly quickly. Let's get to it. So she's warmed up a good bit, so we'll give a couple little raps for you and see what it sounds like. Alright, so step number one here to the process of getting to this ECU here. Like I said, I'm learning myself, so the way I'm doing things might not be the proper way to do this, but we shouldn't have to take this off. It should be fairly simple. Oh, actually, step number one, we got to take the seat off, I believe, too. So I'm going to go grab the tools, and we'll pop the seat off and see where we're at with everything. And should be pretty quick. Alright, so it looks like we actually only had 2 little bolts to take out. Sorry. So it's just this one here on this side and that one on the other side right above the clips here. So now we should be able to just unsnap these and see how in the world this tank cover comes off. It should just pop right off if I'm not mistaken. Fingers crossed we don't snap anything, so let's try. Gentle with her. And like butter, she pops right off apparently. Sweet. that little puppy is what we're looking for. So now it's just a matter of literally taking the ECU out, and which is located right there. So like I said, we got to take this little holder out and then literally just unplug some things, and that should be it. And that is that. Popped it right out of there, boom, and there we go. This little beautiful piece here is about to hopefully crank us out some power, so that's pretty sweet. As you guys can see, that was pretty effortless as to how easy that was to get. You know, all he did was pop the seat off and then the tank cover off, and that was it. And I was just telling a couple of my buddies, like, it's crazy having the tank cover off how bare the bike looks. About it. You don't really notice that when it's on there, which is super weird. But we got to ship this out to them, and you know, I don't know what they're gonna do with it. You know, definitely I'm worried about the fans. I would like them to kick on a little sooner, which I'm pretty sure they can do that through access in this thing, from what I was reading. But yeah, it's gonna run pretty well after we get it back. Like I said, it's gonna take 2-3 weeks build cycle, just because the material shortage that the world is on right now, you know, not just necessarily them. So yeah, that's gonna conclude part 1 of the teardown. Very simple process. Let's just see if I can remember how this all went when I get it back. So yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, we are in business again. Let me tell you, we got the bike back together. It is sick. It looks freaking awesome. I'm so excited. Come on, I'll show you. All boxed up, you know, they put it in a box, nice shipping container and everything. Like, it's crazy how much weight this thing actually saved throwing this exhaust on there. I mean, they cleaned it and everything, put some nice straps on there. It's insane. Nah, man, you know I'm just messing with you. Nah, for real though, we did get the bike back together. So there's a lot of stuff that I actually didn't film when we were assembling all this, because I just wanted to get it done and not have to worry about it. Figured it'd be a lot easier for me to explain how it went together rather than showing it piece by piece, and just, it would have been a long process in my opinion. But like I said, we got the Toce full system exhaust on this thing, got the ECU flash, and it's crazy. It's actually crazy how much of a difference this has made. I wasn't a believer in it for a while, and I got on this thing. I was like, buddy, you know what I mean? And it rips. It's so loud, and it has the baffles in it still, which is freaking crazy. But I'll show you guys it real quick. I'll explain it all, then I'll fire it up after, and give it a little sound test to give her a little bump, bump, you know what I mean? So yeah, let's check it out. Have it, ladies and gentlemen. Toce full system exhaust on the CBR now. Thing is absolutely stunning looking on here. You know, it changed the, I don't want to say it changed the appearance of the bike a good bit, but man, it really cleaned up the look. I love the Leo vents that was on there, and but I couldn't pass up a Toce. I kept seeing people have it, and I was like, dual canisters, yeah, I want it, you know. So threw it on there, and let me tell you, let me get a little startup action for you here, a little cold start action, and let me hold on, just let the video do the talking. definitely a little on the noisier side. I can't give it too many revs up here in the neighborhood because I don't want to tick anybody off, but it's definitely so much louder. It's crazy, especially when you're on the road. It is stunningly louder somehow, and I don't know how, and that's with the baffles in it still. And I was gonna take them out, but there's no freaking way I'm taking those baffles out. So the process of this was pretty simple once we started getting into it a lot more, but at the same time it was kind of difficult because this is the first time I've ever dove into a street bike in my life. So you know, the beginning of this obviously was to tear down all the fairings and get into the ECU and everything. Like I said, I didn't want to like film a lot of this getting put on just because of time constraints. You know, it was one of those things where I just had to get it on, and I had to fit it in this one day. That way I could get it running correctly and everything under the sun with it. So I'll just kind of go over the process of it in case anybody's doing this. It's pretty simple. It was a lot at first, I should say, looking at it, because the way this exhaust system came in, you know, it came in one big box, and you know, the header pipes were all separate, and you know, the mid pipe was separate, the tailpipe obviously was separate. I've never done anything like this before, so like that was a lot to see for me, and I kind of got frustrated and doubtful. And actually one of my friends came to help me with it, and we busted out in a few hours. And I mean, it took a while, don't get me wrong. There's a lot of little bitty pieces you have to run through, but never mind that. Let's jump into it. I'll explain how this all went down, and hopefully if anybody is wanting to get this, check it out, because it's not as bad as you think. You know, don't waste your money on taking it to a shop, because you can definitely do it if you just take your time with it. Step number one, the way we did it, we actually just, all the bolts on this thing were so freaking old that we didn't even really waste time taking it apart piece by piece. We literally just took the headers and back and dropped the whole entire exhaust at once. You know, I think I watched Hero RR had a video about putting a mid pipe on it. Actually helped me a lot because I didn't know anything about what a servo was or anything, and once we got to that part I was like, what the heck. So obviously you'll get into the header portion of the bike here, and you know, it's self-explanatory how this all works. You just loosen up those little stud bolts, we'll call them, and then you know, there's multiple of them, 8 or so I believe. Yeah, I think there's 8 because there's 2 on a manifold. So you unloosen all those. Obviously there's some bolts on the exhaust. You know, I can't show you because all this is on here, but there's some bolts that you'll take apart down there, and then you'll run into something on your stock exhaust called a servo. So what the servo, I learned, is there's 2 cables that run up through here, and back underneath the tail of the bike there's a little, right here. This is where like it's called the servo motor. It sits in here, and there's 2 cables that run up through here and run down to the stock portion of the exhaust. So you have to disconnect all that, disconnect the cables, and run them all the way back from the tail, take them apart, and then everything should drop off the pipe once you unbolt the back end and everything. And then just from there, you line up everything. What we did, we pieced together the headers and the mid pipe together first, and then bolted all that up first, and then put the tail section of the bike on and worked our way back. So you just have to line up. These things have serial numbers on them, which we didn't know that at first. We were super confused, but they have serial numbers that label, you know, 1 and 2, and you just match up the headers with everything. So once you get that figured out, it's literally like putting a little puzzle together. It's kind of interesting how they have it all figured out. Once you do all that, just slowly work your way back. It's super simple once you figure it out, because it literally just goes together as it should. And obviously you put the tail section of the bike here, which will be your little, what is this, a slip-on part? I don't even know what to call it right now. But obviously you'll run the exhaust back like this around here and configure it around the case and everything. Put all this together, and you'll have to make some adjustments to the slip-on part of the pipe. You know, once you get the canisters on, you'll adjust it the way you want it, you know, the height of it by using the adjusters here and everything. So you use all that, and then that's it. You'll piece it piece by piece, and that's about it. Just take your time with it. If anybody has questions, just drop them, because I know I just did a terrible explanation of that without having light and all this stuff off. But super easy process once you figure it out. You know, drop a question if you have a question about it, if you're thinking about getting it. But this thing runs phenomenal. I definitely recommend checking Toce Performance out for any exhaust needs on any bike. You know, this is CBR, but they flashed the ECU for me, turned my fans on a little quicker, Bike stays cool, crisp, and it rips now too. It really rips, so hopefully I'll get some footage of that soon. And yeah guys, thank you for watching this, and I'm gonna cut the video a little short here. Thank you for tuning in to a video. You know, it's a new start, new on the channel. You know, I'm running my own channel now, I think, so this is kind of exciting. So we're gonna go with the flow of this. Welcome to Jones and Moto. Yeah. So